I'm Marlene Gentry, and Jim and I were married in 1958. We were high school sweethearts. We sat beside each other in geography class. And we went to MYF every Saturday night, was our date night. And then Jim got called into the ministry, and I knew that that was the right thing for both of us.
And I'm Jim Gentry. I'm married to Marlene. And as she said, we were close in high school, and we learned about servant ministry early on because of some young adult leadership that was giving us guidance as we were young people. And that was a very good thing. And the other thing that Marlene has learned, and I have learned over the year, is we can be servants as we follow our call into ministry and our assignments that we have been pointed to.
Knowing this fund is being set forth makes me very humbled.
Incidentally, that's a part of who Marlene is as a servant person. When we first heard and were approached about the fund, we were honored that this would happen in this way, and that could be an extension of who we are and of our commitment to the church, but more our commitment to Jesus Christ and of being a servant at that particular point. This started for us several years ago whenever I became aware of Robert Greenleaf and his involvement in a thing called servant leadership. And Servant as Leader was one of the first monographs that he put out in that particular regard. It will help inform who we are as we move forward in this particular project, but there's something even more basic to it than that. In the Bible, in the servant messages in the prophecy of Isaiah, in the middle of that, there is that characteristic of the servant leadership. And Jesus said, in many ways, I came to be a servant. And he showed himself by being a servant whenever he washed the disciples' feet. That was an important piece of saying who he was. What we would hope would come out of this is that there would be the opportunity for classes and for persons to be engaged in the concept of servant leadership. We hope that we will be able to model that and that can continue to be a part of the church.
And a servant isn't only the minister in the church. You don't have to be an organist or a choir director. You can just be you. There's always different ways to serve, be a servant.
And many people will know that one of the ways in which we see at this stage of our lives that servant ministry is by being greeters on Sunday morning. And we're always glad to greet people. That fits our personality, and also we believe that that is an extension of who we are in that greeting. I think both of us are very glad to have the opportunity to speak to the church in this regard, and also the opportunity into the future that these classes, this time, can be used wisely for us in the servant ministry.
Because everybody in the church really can be a servant, no matter what role they play.